St. Elizabeth is typically a pretty quiet town, but when news about those winning lottery numbers spread, everyone started talking. Macy's Incorporated just announced the closing of 36 stores nationwide, including this one. Hank Foley said it was Melissa Click's judgment and behavior, or lack of there, however, on those 2 days that involved police officers. And when I arrived, one resident told me 14 homes are currently underwater here. Although all the primary roads in Columbia are clear, just like this one in a residential area, some of the residential roads still have a thick sheet of snow on them. A judge sentenced Anthony Shegog to 30 years in prison. 2,200 pounds, and as you can see, just a little bit tall. I found out earlier today who the February 24th Lotto winners were, and that they had won $3.3 million. So I went to the place that ticket was sold in a tiny mid-Missouri town to find out more about the lucky Missouri couple. In a town of 336, not a whole lot happens. But when it does...
The first thing was screaming and crying, and then calling our kids to tell them.
I just shocked. I just surprised what the wife did. I just stood there and watched her. She just started crying and bawling and wiping their face.
That was the Webergs' first reaction when they learned they had a $3.3 million winning ticket.
I actually wasn't looking at the ticket.
Her husband was.
I read off the first two numbers. He just rattled off the next four. And I'm like, how did you know that?
And to her surprise,
he's like, because they're right here.
No matter how many times she saw it, she couldn't believe it.
Had him show me that ticket how many times that day before we turned it in.
St. Elizabeth is typically a pretty quiet town, but when news about those winning lottery numbers spread, everyone started talking. So fast, not even Denise, who sold the ticket, had heard yet.
The telephone rang, and it was a lady from town, and she said that her son had called her and said that we had sold a $3.3 million ticket. And she goes, is that true? And I said, not that I know of.
While it's been fun to talk about that $3.3 million in this town of 336 where not much happens, don't expect much to change for the Webergs either.
We don't want anything to change. We still want to be the same people and do the same things.
She does have some advice for the next winner.
Stay down on earth instead of trying to make too much out of it.
The Webergs say they plan on taking the entire family on a trip to Alaska, and Stanley says he wants to fix up his old car.
Much younger.
With that severe weather in full swing today, as we're talking about, was the statewide tornado drill. You hear the sirens, but I wanted to learn more about how those sirens work. While you may have heard the sirens from the outside, Chuck Mostolsky was controlling the sirens from the inside.
Well, basically what we do is we just activate the sirens.
And that is what lets you know severe weather is coming.
Sends out 1,000 megahertz tone and activates the sirens.
And that sound goes all across Boone County.
Test of the local emergency warning system.
Today, it went without a flaw.
We currently believe that all of them did activate as they were scheduled to.
For last week's mechanical mishap that caused a siren to go off in the middle of the night in Columbia, they don't foresee that happening again.
It's a very rare occurrence that this occurs. It was dealt with very quickly, and we identified the problem within just a few moments.
But statewide tests like the one today not only help prepare the community, but also those behind the switch from any other mishaps happening.
These tests keep us mindful of what can potentially happen during severe weather.
He says now is an important time to be aware.
That time of year now where severe weather is playing a big role in the safety of the citizens of this community.
And for now, they think they are prepared for the next time Mostolsky turns on the sirens. Tornado sirens is to alert those who are outside, so be sure and have a NOAA weather radio handy. You can also download our KOMU 8 weather app to get alerts and track the storm along with our weather team.